I was. Is it? No one in here now. But then off again. The woods and close that. Oh, they're on again. It says no one's viewing. Is there someone on here or not? I don't know. It doesn't say anyone. I can see it says stream cut, but then there's no one on here, so I don't know at the moment. When someone comes on here, I'll say something, but I can't see anyone on here. Tab. Slow. Fucking slow. Shutting down. Shutting down Skype. Right. Testing this. There's someone on here or not? I can't see. Oh, now it says one. Well, that's working so far. This is now the umpteenth time since May the 31st. But I'll make sure everyone, because I want to make sure it's going to work for Sunday. But it says one viewer now, so then that must be Brian. and I can see the chat there, but the signal around here, because this isn't London, this is Buckinghamshire, so the signal varies. I'm off in the town here. This is just, I've been to the local town today. Well, the recording's now just gone past 11:11 that it's in, but I'm just doing this to test again because there were a few teething problems, but the main thing the stream is, even on here it's a bit jittery because this tablet is quite full, but also the signal, we're just outside the town, so it's a bit patchy and it's also hilly round here. But I'm just walking, been shopping and things, and I did some. Well, now it says there's no one on here, but is there people on here? That's what's confusing, because YouTube see on here on the StreamYard it says 0, but then people are typing in the chat, so that's even a lie. But as I said, anyone can stream, so I can't remember if this has been mentioned on the Really Woke show yet, but surely this is something that needs to be mentioned to every single viewer. So, as I saw something on the group a number of times, they say post all the latest goings on. Well, this is how everyone can do it, by live streaming. But also this needs to be mentioned on the show. I mentioned this 6 weeks ago. No, 2 months ago now. It would have been on the show. I can't even remember if it has been, but if it hasn't been, I'm very surprised if it hasn't, because this is how you get everyone being a citizen journalist, by using this app so they can live stream. And I don't know if Asita has tried yet, has she? Any live streams, but I think that's the thing of, I've met people a few times at Speaker's Corner, but I don't know, like, have they been doing, is it recording on cameras, or this is obviously just on my tablet using a mobile data dongle. Yes, these are the local woods. My old school's up there. I know these woods well. I used to walk through these woods often as a school days, walking down to the old town. Even Uxford is too busy for me, and arguably even where I am now is a bit too busy. But these are beech woods. This is the children's like the home counties are quite wooded. Beech forests would have covered the Chilterns until, well, the thing is, history is all up in the air, but nevertheless the local beech trees are used to make furniture, because beech is the hardwood, and that's the main species that grows. Chalk. I wanted to get it working here, because this is equally a test, but also equally more proof that anyone can, because some people are going around thinking that you can't stream from a mobile. Yes, you can. Because I discovered this back in April. Brian Staveley's mentioned it on the show, and Facebook actually. I've seen a few places. So anyone with a smartphone and enough data can stream using this app, basically. I know sometimes the quality is variable, but then and also because even this is only 4G, but trees will still even block 4G, especially. See, this says no viewers, so that's a lie. I don't know if the app is lying. I know one flower came onto the stream and I saw her chatting, and then it said one, but then I didn't even. Is there anyone on the stream at the moment at all? Well, I'll just keep walking until I see some more. When someone types in chat again, because I don't know if there's anyone watching at the moment, I'll just keep walking until. But all I was saying, this way I'm walking at the moment, many times I've walked from the school behind me down to the old town here for church services. At school with like Easter and Christmas. Well, it says no one. It says no one's on the stream, so that's a lie. Well, now it says one. So either their connection at that end is dropping out, but I'm assuming this app gets its viewing numbers from YouTube, but it has to. So YouTube are even lying on my stream, but I've only got one viewer. That's how much they're scared of numerology. I'm just going around the town, and then be about another 20 minutes before I get back, and then do a few things, and then I'll come online after. I've already eaten. I went to the cafe today and had a big lamb chops. But these, I just wanted to get to see how it behaves in the dark as well. This. See, now it says there's no viewers, but then it. So there's at least one viewer or 2 viewers, but then it's even lying about that. But very odd. Not odd to me because I know how numbers work. Not that the one I means anything. I know how. In lots of other ways I've seen and behave. Skype. Well, there's obviously more than one person watching because it says naught. Well, then when it says 1, there must be 2 or 3 watching then. I have to plug this into the battery in a minute. In fact, I need to do that now. In fact, I need to go for a piss first. Because down there there's a field, and then it goes opens out onto the town. It's coming downhill. But these woods I've walked through as a teenager at school, and having cigarettes or drinking beer in the sixth form. It's getting dark, but they're quite dense woodlands because that's beech trees. The station is. Because that's up the hill. Then down in the valley is the old town. The new town is, I think, even plenty of evidence, that's only been there for the last, well, since the railway came, but then, even that's a lie, the dates of that, but just from observations, the old town has definitely been there longer than the new town. Regardless of what the exact age is. Right, I'm going to have to plug this in. I've got to plug the cable in because of the battery. This is all, I'm just field testing, seeing how long I've got the portable power pack thing, that lasts ages. Even I took it to Speaker's Corner and a 3-hour stream, and it only drained 10% of it. But nevertheless, every stream I record of this is the proof that everyone on that really woke group and everywhere else with a smartphone and a YouTube account and the correctly enabled permissions can stream. And if I can do it from stockbroke about land, right, I'm just getting this. Then anyone can. Right. That's now running through. So that should be charging, because I've got to. That's still streaming. Oh, it says poor connection. Perhaps I need to be. Yes, because the signal. Should get a bit better here at the trees, but this is the old town there. You see I'm coming down a big hill. I'm already halfway down the hill. The hill, I think that's the other side of the. That goes up towards something called Beaconsfield. This is the Amersham Old Town. My flat's over there somewhere behind trees. And I'll go up this way. This is the edge of the woodland. I've basically been walking between the old town and the new town, but then some of it, one way there's like a road with houses down, the main road, but then this is the back way. As you can see, even in Northwood Hills, where I used to live, there was a hill there, but as you can see, this is much hillier than anywhere even in Middlesex. That place called Pinner's not Pinner. The place called Harrow Weald. There's a few hills around there, but obviously, this is into the Chilterns, and most places are on hills apart from the town and the valley. But that's another thing. I just wanted to see how what the signal is like here. It says, well, it's a bit better now. But I'm going to go back, do a bit of washing up, and then come on and find out what's happening about the other plans for today, which I'm waiting to hear about, but I haven't got to check. Yes, you know, that's why I like living around here. That's why I wanted to move back here. This is only 12 miles from Uxbridge. This is basically the beginning of the Chiltern Hills, just a bit into it. You know, another 10 miles that way and it's still hillier. I'm only 12 miles from Uxbridge, where I used to live. Uxbridge is, that's the thing, there's quite a big difference. Uxbridge is the edge of Middlesex. The buildings are different. You know, the bricks are different, you know, that's really on London clay, this is chalk. You know, the houses have brick and flint, a different look to the buildings. Regardless of the age that they actually are, you know, the Tartarians are obviously, whoever built them, you can always tell the place by the local stone, you know, the local brick. But even in Uxbridge, you get the yellow bricks. Even here, obviously, particularly down there were lots of Tartarian brick type buildings. I just mean that London, you see those yellow bricks because that's the local clay. I'd say more in the chalk downlands like you have here and like in Sussex and places, then you see red brick houses and the flint. But then in some areas you see stone. But as you can see, yes, you know, that's the old town, and then I'm just coming up this hill bit here. One or two trees blew down. There was a wind last year sometime. If I get back, I'll probably have a cool shower again because it's a bit humid. But as I said, this is only... When I get my car back, which I'm having rows with my family about, and my father's admitting more now that he stole it and trying to defend that, and besides another whole load of stuff with my landlord. Yes, doing a stream and talking, that is a bit of exercise. I need to go over here, that's it. A bit of extra exercise in itself. This is basically a field. You know, I've walked through this field countless times in my life at school and smoking. Well, yes, that was it, yes. Roxanne said there was a problem with her car and then said they were going to get back to me, but I haven't heard anything yet since this morning, I think it was. So I'm going to check. So once I get back and have a shower, do a bit of washing up, then I'll come online. Because obviously, particularly earlier today, the one thing I wanted to do today was like because it's 22 energy, then 22 is weightlifting and things, and bodybuilders. That's the thing with numerology, is by example. I can think of... See, I'm not an expert on bodybuilders and things, but I know that people with 22 energy, there's a lot of famous bodybuilders born on the 22nd or 22 life paths, strong men and stuff like that. Then it's the 33, obviously, then that aspect is like influence, you know. That's what... One of the first things to show anyone with this is why is the number 33 so important? You know, the Freemason logos. And even if I show people, you know, ultimately it's something you can only show maybe in a 10 or 15 minute video into some stuff about the alphabet, some stuff about... There's another reason that 33 is connected with, to do with geometry. Then also then with examples from history, Einstein, Edison, George Bush, 9/11 has 33 in it itself. There were the buildings were taken down 33 years after they were put up, weren't they, I think? Yes, I'm just walking across this field. I'm just going to walk down here. But my flat's over there basically, and this is the old town, and that hill up there goes towards Beaconsfield, and then eventually you can get to the M40. If you go down there, then I'm on the M40, then 2 junctions down is Denham. It's not far. Then you're at the start of the A40. 10 minutes in the car that way is my parents' house, that's 6 miles.
Private land, no recording.
Someone doing fishing or something or drinking. Well, so I've been doing a bit. I was doing some yogic press-ups. I need to get some weights and things. Again, just because of other priorities. I was doing some yogic press-ups and stuff. When I get back, I'll perhaps do some planks and things. I'm not out and out into fitness, you know, to reasonable amounts, but ultimately the most important thing is to what you learn, because then what you learn with your mind goes on to the next life. You can build the muscle you want that is not going with you to the next stage. It's a balance, basically, but yes, it looks quite nice now with the clouds, but the main thing with this is sometimes the camera gets not the best in. It's not too bad in this light. Also, I was going to go around that way, wasn't I? Well, a bit distracted, going this way. Actually, up here is an interesting local landmark. It's a monument to these Amersham martyrs. This town itself is very occult. You could do a really woke episode about stuff, you know, anywhere like this, like Old Amersham. West Wickham, there's a place where they've got these caves. There has to be some correct history about it. Well, look, there's only one true version of history, so you've got to find it out. But I know that over here there's a place just down here. It's been there for a long time. It's a monument to these some martyrs back in the 1500s to do with when there were the Catholics and the Protestants. And the history is that they got executed or something like that, but still, it's an obelisk. One is male energy, so the obelisk is the one. The one is the male. This is like the... That's it. But look, an obelisk. The obelisk is called the phallus. Phallus because look, it's the number one, isn't it? One is male energy. That's what that's what one is. 1A, alpha, athletic. And last June was a 1 month. July is 11. Both months have an athletic aspect. But yes, this is yes, it's to do with Protestants and Catholics back in the 1500s, and then this was erected in their name, although the actual event happened in, well, officially 400 years ago. But these are just houses behind there. This is basically, if you know, like parts of Surrey, or you think of a place like similar to this, Rickmansworth. Another place that's a bit like this. It's called Virginia Water. You know, it's like a big, small town with lots of large houses. Obviously, the old town is a favourite place, and obviously prices are very expensive. Over there, there's this whole, see in the distance, that horrible work going on there. I know I can't zoom in. Well, that's this HS2 rubbish that they're having to do work for locally. Which is pissing me off, because next door this has actually moved into a flat downstairs. But I'm about to cause chaos with my landlord. Because then the other day they were breaking the law as well. That's something I can go into. You know, it's in the background of that, but you know, I like where I'm living, but basically the landlord who run it and the company connected with it are trash, and they've broken so many laws that they know they can't do anything, and my tenancy's been invalid for 5 years, and I should be able to sue for well into 4 figures. I'm sure I can. Is it? So I'm just walking down this path. This is a wheat field. This is what you call, you know, well, this is the main town centre's up there, you know, but then this is the old town, but then immediately outside the town you've got farmland, because you've got the woods, but it's hilly, but as long as the soil's good enough. I do want to get some weights, because I've been reading that doing some weights is good for bone density as you get older. Because I'm going to be 40 on the 17th of August, and there's one situation at the moment that is trying to get in the way of me having even visitors around to my flat, like family and friends and stuff. And then a situation happened yesterday or a day or two ago where they were outwardly breaking the law. I have recorded it. That's something which I know has been on TV. Well, to be honest, most of what there have been these things on TV about, like how what they call the social care system and, and its inadequacies, well, actually, you could do a report with the really woke, and because what I know, I just know pure corruption, and I know that for a fact. Like, I know how the local NHS, one of the local NHS places was privatised on the sly, and then somebody told me, and they all tried to deny it. That's another whole long story that's as complicated as, well, that has as many twists and turns as some of the number stuff, but obviously not as, nowhere near as interesting. But using the numbers, I will then use that to increase my probability of suing them successfully, and also I'm sure I can bring criminal charges now. Well, it's on 19, so it's still okay. But my flat's basically behind, that's the Tesco's there, and I'm coming down to the old town. There's a big hill. Where I came from is about 500 feet above sea level, roughly, and I'm coming down to the valley. It's about 200 or 250 feet down this hill, so if I cycle from here up to the town, then sometimes I don't mind it, but it can be tiring. That's why I need my car, because as you can see, you know, all these hills. There's another whole debacle with my disgraceful family, where they've been trying to deny about theft of the car. Well, I've got stories I've said to my oldest brother I will spill the beans on him if he messes around, and all sorts of stuff, and that's why for me at the moment. But yes, when I get back, I'm going to be coming on Skype, and because yes, there's a problem with the car, but I've not heard anything since, so also then because you have the three is communication, so singing, meditation. On a day like this with a bit of everything, you've got the 11 in there, the month, the 7, then it's one of those days you want to get as many of those things done as you can, if you see what I mean. So I did some yoga, then I did some meditation, and then some chanting, and then I went out up the town and had a big meal, then came back, did some stuff on my tablet, came back, then did some stuff in the kitchen, then I'm just doing this walk to test stuff. I'm now basically at the back of the town. There's like yes, this is it, you've got the local river here. This is called the River Misbourne. So, once I get back and I've done a few things in the kitchen, I'll then come on Skype with my mind clear to obviously see what's happened today, but that's what I'm again unclear about, because the plan, this is probably about the 5th or 6th live stream I've done now. In fact, I have done no live streams from my home PC, only mobile live streams on an account with only 73 subscribers, which had perhaps about 50 or 55 when I did the first one. That's just an old graveyard there. This is the old town now, so this is the local river. These areas all take me back years, you know. My brother started coming to have a drink in the pubs here even when I was because the two eldest are between 14 to 16 years older than me. Work it out roughly, yes. So by the time I was little, they were sometimes coming to the pub here in Old Amersham. In a car, you can be in Uxbridge in 15-20 minutes. It's not even that far down the main road. But even say compared with Uxbridge, there is a fair difference in terms of the traffic and the landscape, because then even Uxbridge is more Middlesex landscape, Middlesex, London clay, not very hilly. Here you know, obviously the houses look different, you know, you're definitely into the countryside somewhat. This is the old town. This church here my brother got married at. I remember coming here, besides obviously from school, coming here for church services. This is St Mary's Church. That's the river there. See, these are all very old buildings and mud flood. So this would be but now, you know, the flat earth British part of the. As for the exact age of the buildings, who knows? You know, how do any of us actually know? It could be even 1,000 years old. It could be only 150, but nevertheless, there's clearly mud flood. There, this is the church. See, officially about 14th century, 15th century, but this is vicar's accommodation, I think, or some kind of Well, you know, officially that would be a Georgian building, I suppose, isn't it? But yes, but even there you can see the Flint, for example. That's definitely local architecture. In London, you see the yellow bricks, and then there aren't really any flints. You know, London's clay. Well, I think the signal's not so bad here now, but as you can see, we're down in the valley here. This is the old town. But we're now particularly coming to the part of the town that's that's the part that has all the listed buildings. But even as when you walk along the high street, there are some interesting numbers and names of houses and one or two carvings, you know, that you see them like that. I'm sure some of these, again, that's all old buildings to do with the church. This is called Rectory Hill. Obviously, Rectory is so that's clearly mud flood to some extent, whether they have floors below. Not every building here does, but you know, they're clearly of that age. Yes, that's the weather. This is basically now the back of the Old Town High Street. Whenever the railway appeared. That in a way creates the mystery again, doesn't it, when you find out about all that stuff. It's now on 19. You see, now it says no viewers again. Is that YouTube messing around, or is that... It said 2 just then. But I'll go on with this for another... Well, I suppose I can go back to my flat, but some of the way I'll hide it, because obviously I don't want to give away my... Yes, you know, this is the town. This is the old town centre of the old town now. This is very mud floody. All these buildings. Cars. I may even go to the pub, actually. I think. Fuck it, I might even go to the pub. See, round here there's lots to see. If you want a trip out of London, then come to Old Emma. I mean, to me, London is like the London postcodes. For example, my ex is from Ealing. I would consider that London, because that's W13. I can now see the great wisdom in the idea of restoring the English counties and balkanising London back between Essex, Kent, Surrey and Middlesex. Then the libtard voice influence of London is completely destroyed then. That's a win-win plan to me. That's why they're scared of the revival of the English common law. Now this isn't focusing. There. Well, that says 1682, but obviously none of those dates are to be trusted. If I look at the astrology, but nevertheless, regardless of the age, clearly buildings. And that's what I find interesting, when you find buildings of different heights. Even though they look the same age, why are some doors small and some doors big? Are they different sizes of people? That's what I wonder. Particularly in a town like this, because then some buildings, as you can see, have very high doors, and then some have extra low doors. As almost if back then there were... That's been another theory of mine. What is anyone watching now? I don't know. I'll wait till someone types in chat until there's anyone watching. I'll keep walking meanwhile. If there's anyone on here, type in chat. If there's anyone watching, type in chat. Hmm.
I didn't mention.
Don't think anyone's watching at the moment, are they? 'Cause if anyone's watching, type in chat. First thing to do. Oh, it said day 2. Oh, so that was the other viewers. That's a good idea. I think I'm going to go to the pub up here. Then we're going to go on Skype. Right. Fancy just going to think. I think I'll go to one of these. One beer. Right. I think I'm going to finish this here. I'm going to the pub now for one drink. Fucking wallet. Shit. I'm going to get to the pub and I'm going to switch this off. I've got to use the microphone anyway, I've got to use Skype. I'm going to go here. I haven't been here. I haven't been to this pub, actually either of these two, since about January. So this will make a change. Going to this pub here. I'm going to have 1 or 2 beers and use Skype. It's the first time I've been here for a while, so a bit of normality. So we'll end the stream at this pub I haven't been to for yonks. So, see if there's any more of this COVID bullshit in the rules here, we'll have to see. Well, finish it there for now. Pardon? Oh, yeah.
Not in
How do I? How do I end the stream then? So I'll stop it here now. Right, that's it. So I stop. I don't want to keep using my data either. Test. Stop.